I'll go ahead and get started. My name is Chef Johnson. I am the culinary arts teacher here at Southeast Raleigh High School. So what I'm going to do is I wanted to do a quick demonstration on a summer highlight dish. So this is something to highlight a lot of summer produce: corn, tomatoes, zucchini, strawberries, basil. All these are they're highest flavor because it's in season. You get more nutrients out of them when you eat with foods that are in season. So for your summer produce, I put them and pack them in to one small bite with a corn and zucchini fritter with a strawberry tomato salsa on top. I know some of you like strawberry salsa, but once all those flavors come together, you'll see how it's a balance ultimately of all things and a lot of nutritional value just in one dish. All right, so I'm gonna show you the fritter real quick, which starts with, of course, corn and zucchini. But any fritter is gonna be bound together with some eggs. I'm gonna go ahead and zest up some of our zucchini, just using a regular grater. I'm gonna grate it. Now the one thing about zucchini, it contains a lot of moisture. So things you need to hydrate, especially in summer months like this: watermelon, zucchini, cucumbers. They all are natural sources of water and hydration. So that's why it's best to use and get familiar with more fresh produce so that you can hydrate also while adding nutritional value. So I'm gonna shred this. There's a lot of water content, so once I shred it, I'm gonna grate some onion also. There's a lot of water in that, so I have to drain it and squeeze out all the water and all the liquid so that it doesn't compromise my fritter. We want it to fry up nice and crisp. If there's any moisture in it, then it's gonna fall apart and it's not gonna stay together. Now I have an onion. I'm gonna also grate in here. The onion's gonna add flavor. A lot of times we always want to add salt to a dish to give it flavor, but there are certain ingredients, like onion. There are certain ingredients like herbs and spices that help to bring and to build flavor into this dish. We will only add a little bit of salt at the end to kind of enhance that flavor. So I'm gonna break this onion in here. A little bit. Once I break it, take out every half, and then I'll squeeze out all that. Yes, squeeze out. See all that? You would never know that all of that was within that zucchini and those onions. All of that. Squeeze as much as you can. You're not going to get all of it, but you can at least get as much as you can out. Now I can dump that in there with my egg. It's nice and dry. Then I'll add in my corn. Now this is fresh corn, got from the farmer's market. So it's not deep yellow like you're used to. This is fresh from somebody's farm. I don't remember whose farm, but somebody's farm. Fresh, and so you know it's going to be good. It's going to be quality. Doesn't have a lot of extra stuff in it. So this is a nice fresh farmer's market corn. About roughly 2 cups of corn that we took off of the cob. If you can't get any from the farmer's market, no worries. The next best thing is, if you can't get fresh corn, grab a bag of frozen corn, because normally frozen corn has been fresh and flash frozen. So at least it still maintains its nutritional value. So get the corn, thaw it out really well, and make sure you drain it and make sure there's no water on it also. All right, so we got all our vegetables in there. Now I'm gonna start out in building the flavor, right? So I got a little bit of granulated garlic because garlic goes good with everything, right? Now this is probably one of my favorite spices, smoked paprika. This ain't your regular paprika that you put on the deviled eggs and the little bit just to make the dish for you or the potato salad. Smoked paprika. Smell this. Smell that. Smoked paprika. It's got good flavor. It's got a little bit of smokiness to it. That's just gonna add another depth of flavor to this. Now you notice I'm adding all my wet ingredients and all the vegetables. Now my dry ingredients. So I have some all-purpose flour. I have some cornmeal. It's going to help to give it a little bit of crispness. Cornmeal. And I have some Parmesan cheese. If you are lactose or if you are vegan, then you can easily alter this recipe to a non-dairy cheese or omit the cheese. You can omit that out. Now I'm going to lightly a little bit of baking powder. That's going to help to hold this together, and it's going to give your fritters a little bit of thickness and depth. Now I'm going to add just a little bit, a couple of pinches of salt, and a little bit of black pepper. Now there's still probably going to be a little bit of moisture from your onions and from your zucchini, so that's going to help. Once you mix it up, get all that flour mixed. Now, in a perfect world, you would, after you have it nice and mixed, you would put it in the refrigerator for at least 30 minutes so that it can all absorb and kind of come together. And it's going to end up being like a nice little fritter batter. I'm using grapeseed oil because it's a cleaner oil. If you don't have grapeseed oil, use some canola oil. I try to stay away from vegetable oil. Vegetable oil is what I consider at the bottom of the totem pole of oil. A cleaner, more healthier oil, canola, grapeseed, avocado. Now they get more expensive, of course, the more you go up. But a nice neutral oil is grapeseed oil because you can use it for all things. Some people like, can I use extra virgin olive oil? Extra virgin olive oil is not good for high heat cooking. It's mainly extra virgin olive oil is used for like dressings and light stuff and light sauteing. It's not meant for any high heat cooking or anything like that. So I'm gonna take just a little scoop. If you don't have a scoop, if you have like a spoon at home, you can do that. Probably about like 1 ounce or like a large spoon worth. Make sure our pan is nice and hot. Make sure there's a little bit of oil nice and moving it to turn this up just a little bit. So always make sure, I always tell people, you always want a hot pan and hot oil. Because it's no good to have a hot pan and then you put the oil in there and then you put whatever you're searing on. Whether it's this, whether it's a chicken breast, whether it's a steak, make sure your pan is hot, make sure your oil is hot. So once, whatever you're cooking in there, as soon as it hits the pan, it should automatically start the Maillard reaction, which is scientific basically for browning. All right, so I'm gonna do the first one. Once that pan heats up a little bit more, just put it, you can use a cast iron skillet, you can use a regular skillet, you don't have to have a fancy skillet like I have. Cast iron skillet, you can do this on a griddle. If you got a nice like griddle, you can do it on a griddle. Nice in the summer and stuff like that. While she's making some of those, I'll start on the strawberry salsa. Strawberry salsa, got some nice fresh strawberries. Strawberry tomato salsa. Take those, slice our strawberries. You want them to be nice bite sizes because it's a salsa. You don't want big, large chunks. So understanding anything could be a salsa as long as you have the foundation to the basis of the salsa. So most salsas have what are usually you find in the salsa? You use tomato, jalapeno,
Okay.
onion. What else you usually find in salsa?
Okay. All right.
Cilantro. Okay, a little bit of oil. What about there's a certain citrus that you normally would find? What's that? Lime. Sometimes you can put lemon. Sometimes you can put lemon. So as long as you have kind of those necessary ingredients that go with a salsa, it could be a salsa. We're making a strawberry tomato. I've made a watermelon salsa before. I've made I made what I call a melon salsa that had cucumbers, watermelon, and cantaloupe. Uh, and you can use this for this. You can make this and put it over a fish. You can use this and put it over a nice grilled chicken breast. So you can use this salsa for a lot of different applications. A little bit of strawberry, and a little bit of my tomato. Strawberries can be have an affinity for savory too. It doesn't always have to be like because it's a fruit, that's a vegetable. All these flavors, understanding flavor profiles, you understand how you can balance certain flavors out together. So I have basil in this, I have cilantro in this, because basil goes good with strawberries and with tomatoes. So I'm just gonna cut a little bit of this onion. A little bit of I have a little bit of fresh basil. So basil and cilantro are very close in the family, so they'll balance each other out and they'll taste real good together. Now, depending on how ripe your strawberries are, lends to how sweet they are. If you got really sweet strawberries and they're nice and ripe, then you cut back on the amount of honey. So I add a little bit of honey to balance some of the acidity that's going to be in this from the tomatoes. But you don't have to add a lot if you have already ripe ripe strawberries. So just a little bit, just to add a little bit of sweetness to it. Now I'm going to add just a pinch of salt. Because what did I say salt does? It enhances. So if I'm enhancing flavor, what does that mean? I have to start with. I have to start with flavor. So that means I have to build flavor by other things. So I build a flavor so that cilantro, basil, and lime juice, any type of citrus in a dish helps to bring flavor out. The salt now just helps to take it to the next level. I'm not relying on the salt to give it flavor. I'm just relying on the salt to do its job and take it to the next level. Okay? So just a tad bit of salt. I'm gonna add a little bit of jalapeno in this batch here. Now the best thing when you're making a salsa or something like this, refrigerate it for at least an hour, because that allows all the flavors to marry together, come together, and it tastes really, really good.
I'll be the one. What is this, chef?
It is a corn and zucchini fritter.
Nice.
With a strawberry tomato sauce.
Nice.
All the nice bounty of the summer.
Whoa, that's hitting right there.